Good morning. My name is Natalie Higgins-Andrews, and I work for Bank of America, Vice President in the Global Technology and Operations team as a project manager. And this is one of my great alums, so I'm glad to be here today. My question is surrounding mentorship and how important mentorship has been for you to get to the positions that you're in today. Thank you.
Well, I think I can speak to that very briefly. In my era, there were no mentors for women. There were lots of mentors for men, but no mentors for women. And so it was a struggle. I mean, you know, it was a battle every day. However, I will tell you that I am a strong supporter of mentorship. And today, I practice as a mentor often with people and actually feel that that's an obligation. It's a societal obligation for me to do that. And some people wonder why in the world I spend so much time with all these people that I spend time with. But you know what? There's nothing more rewarding. And as you're mentoring individuals, you never know what they are going to become and where you're going to see them again in your life. And I have people who come up to me that I've spent time with, and they found it valuable, and they remember me, and for the life of me, there have been so many that I can't remember every one of them, but every time it comes back to me in multiples, the reward for helping individuals in small ways and big ways, and you know, over time. So I think that it's one of the most rewarding things you can do in life, and I recommend it to everyone. And every person can be a mentor. You can be mentored, but you can also be a mentor. And I highly recommend it and think it can make a world of difference in an individual's life to have someone to mentor them.
You know, this question reminds me of something that Donna said earlier about appreciating the women in your lives, and especially what I found in this community. There have been women in this room that I've been able to call, and I don't have a formal mentoring relationship with them, but I've been able to call just at the very, very last minute and say, okay, this is what's going on. You know, have you dealt with this? What has this experience been for you? And in my role, I'm in a unique position, so there, you know, I am a woman and I'm younger, and I have a number of responsibilities and expectations. And so to be able to find women who I don't have to explain all of that to, but I can just sort of cut to the questions, right? And that exists. And some, like I said, there's women in this room that I've been able to really reach out to and appreciate them for that support. And these aren't women I've necessarily had long, deep conversations with, but when the moment called, they understood and were very much available. So I just related to the mentor, that reminded me that I just wanted to share that and thank them and thank all of you for being those people in my life.
Right, and you know, mentorship, I believe, is really very, very important. All of us in this room stand on the shoulders of giants, women who paved the way for us, who were discriminated against, who had to wear, you know, silk bow ties and white shirts and blue suits every day to work. And we stand on their shoulders, and we're in here in red and pink and suede and leather and everything else. So we definitely had quiet mentors who paved the way. And so what I like to say about mentorship is there's quiet mentorship, there's subtle, and then there's direct mentorship. And not only should we seek out mentors so that it's a mutually beneficial relationship, but we should also look to be mentors, and that is not a paid political announcement. However, United Way is looking for mentors. The other thing I think is equally as important is sponsorship. So sometimes when you can't mentor, but I know Margaret would do a great job at XYZ, I need to speak on her behalf in a forum. So even though you don't have a direct relationship, sponsor a woman by speaking positively about her at a time and in a place where she needs your endorsement. And I know that that has happened for me from men and women, because there are rooms we will never walk into where they are talking about us and watching us, and somebody needs to be sponsoring us in that room, if not mentoring. So really think about those two things in tandem, and look for your opportunities when you're not mentoring to sponsor someone by positive words in a room or during a conversation.
Well, I know I don't need to summarize all of what our panelists have shared with us, because I've been watching you taking notes on your smartphones, on your iPads, in your journals, etc. And what I hope is that you have been and will be tweeting what you've heard and putting it on Facebook and LinkedIn and all of those things, so we can spread the word around the world. In closing, before I turn the podium back to Patsy, I just want to share two quotes with you. One is from a friend and colleague of mine who is a prolific writer, and her name happens to be Sam Horn. So she gets into rooms because her name is Sam. And then she shows up and they see she's a woman. And she says, if we don't find our calling, we can create it. And the second one is from Natalia Oberte Noguera. Forbes identified her as one of the 5 most powerful women changing the world in entrepreneurship. And she's 32, I believe. She's very young comparatively speaking. And she said, women, we need to speak up and stand up. We cannot be where we cannot see. So I encourage you to speak up, stand up, speak up for other women, help other women be heard, and spread the word about the Diversity Forum. And I'll turn it over to Patsy. Let's thank our panelists.